What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Ezio here, and welcome back for another video. Today we are on the test server again, and we will be doing a showcase on Ezio Auditore, the brand new login champion with the Assassin's Creed collab that everyone can get just by logging into the game. I'm really excited for this champion because he actually plays really well. Here he is a spirit-based attack based damage dealer, so make sure you guys give him attack. The best thing about him is that he also has some PvE use as well as PvP. So for him, he can place poisons as well as switching that up into bombs if you encounter enemies under stone skin. It's nice to have champions that can kind of be flexible and be useful in different areas. He brings an A1 decreased defense, which is just generally great against single target bosses. And then he has a single target smack here that can hit pretty hard if you build him to do so. He also has a nice passive here that places Veil on himself, which is really good because he doesn't need anybody else to do that for him. And he has a chance to kind of evade. It's almost like evade, but not really. It just kind of mitigates damage, not so much the effects. And he can pitch in some extra damage with his counterattack. Speed in all battles is also very good, very flexible. Great just to round out your dungeon teams if you need it. Base stats, pretty standard for most damage dealers, nothing too amazing, kind of average on all fronts. Defense a little bit high for a damage dealer. So now that we quickly recapped his kit, I want to bring you guys into the dungeons here. We're going to be doing some PvE content. And like I was saying, it's nice to have champions that can kind of give you an option, whether you're early game, mid game, or late game. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back. I want to talk to you guys quickly about this brand new game that's coming from Goat Games. They're the creators of Dungeon Hunter 6, War and Magic, Dragonstorm Fantasy, and Bloodline, Heroes of Lethas. So just to name a few, these guys are a really big game developer, and they're putting out a brand new card collector RPG style game called Moto Immortal. This highly stylized game features Eastern and Western deities where you can collect and build teams around, harnessing their magical and cosmic powers. It's actually a really stylish game and features a lot of elements in games that I think you guys would enjoy. So they're running a promo right now and they're encouraging viewers to pre-register for the game. Make sure you guys use the QR code that I have in my video right now. For every person that pre-registers, they're going to receive a powerful new champion called Ares, and also there's going to be milestones for pre-registered players that will unlock additional goodies for everybody. Also make sure to stop on by their Discord where they're doing a bunch of giveaways for some cool stuff like an iPhone 17, a Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 5, and other gift cards. Moto Immortal is going to feature card collection, idle progression, so some AFK, and then of course there's going to be roguelike challenges as well. Lots of really cool characters to pick up in this game, so make sure you guys pre-register now with the QR code here. I want to make a big thanks to Moto Immortal for sponsoring the video. Also, make sure you guys check out the description below for the pre-registration link. Thanks for watching, guys, and back to the video. In this video here, we're going to be showing him doing some solo content, and I'll show you guys exactly where he's good in and what works and what doesn't work. So first, let's start off in Iron Twins. He actually works very well against the Iron Twins. If you need him to do this, I mean, you might not need a champion to solo this boss anymore if you're, at a certain point in the game, but you never know. You might not have the proper champions, for example. So he gives you an option. So I'm going to show you guys him in this dungeon right now. He actually performs really well. Obviously, we are on strong affinity. I don't have a chance to test him on negative affinity yet, but I assume he'd probably still do pretty good. And if not, then he'll probably do pretty good with a team of champions as well. You kind of see here that he's basically just taking the hits. He's landing Brimstone. He's landing decreased defense. And then he can instantly activate his poisons. The poisons do pretty good damage. His A3 actually doesn't do that much damage in this build, just because he's not really built to do damage from his hits. More of his damage will come from the Brimstone, staying alive for duration of fight, and obviously poison activation. You can kind of see there, it ticks off. It's really nice. He lands just enough debuffs to kind of trigger it, because you need to have 4 debuffs or more for him to instantly activate the poison. So he can do that with the decreased defense, the Brimstone, and then the poison sensitivity, and then landing 2 of the poisons, he'll instantly trigger it. See right there, he instantly activates it, which is nice. And then you can see the boss going down. You don't get any XP from the food, but with the build that he has, having the food with him, dying gives him some additional speed, so he'll get some more turns to do some more of his abilities. So kind of see here, no real issues. We're just going to trek along here, probably about 2 minutes to finish off this fight. We're in no danger against the Iron Twins. So just in case you guys needed an option to consistently farm the Iron Twins, you got your option here with Ezio Auditore, getting the job done. Final hit here probably. And then the poison activate, boom, and then the brimstone finishing off. There we go. Under 2 minutes. Doing it full solo. If you have a team with him, he's going to be even faster. So at least you have the option, right? So really, really good. I do have him blessed with the 5-star blessing. Everybody's going to get him as long as you do your dailies and then follow the login rewards. Make sure you guys get that 5-star blessing. Really, really huge, especially for a champion that you guys will most likely use. Let's jump into the Ice Golem. Ice Golem normal is susceptible to poisons. Now the poisons won't work on hard mode, unfortunately, but for normal, it's still very good. So for this dungeon, it'll be very difficult to farm stage 25. I also prefer to farm normal 24 over 25, unless it's CBC, which is favoring the stage 25 because you get more points. But otherwise, stage 24 just give you better gear. You're more efficient with your energy in terms of what you get back. So I usually just favor 24. So we'll just jump in and do 24 here. All right, let's jump into it. So yeah, we like the poisons. The poisons allow us to go through the boss without taking too many of the retaliation hits. So that's one way that you can have your team wipe, is if the Ice Golem hits you with the retaliation hit at the wrong time, if you're not ready for it, for example. But stuff like poisons allow us to go through it without triggering that. So that's really, really nice. But yeah, Brimstone's going to help with the waves a little bit here. We do have the reflect wave on wave 2, so we do have to be a little bit tanky to deal with that. And yeah, we'll just slowly get through this here. Let's go. Come on. All right, counterattacks. There we go. All right, let's go wave 2. Fast enough to go 2 turns, 3 turns. Having food with him really helps because we are running Spirit Haste. That's going to give us some additional speed, which is nice. Okay, go steel buff. That's kind of nice. On the, I think that was the A3. Yep, A3. You steal the buffs first. Nice. Works out there. Reflect damage is a little bit scary, especially if you have your Ezio built with a lot of damage. And of course, if you don't have the stats for 24, you can definitely dial it down a little bit. Yeah, some of these waves aren't the most friendliest, so it might not be the best to gear him up with high damage stats, but just focusing on his poisons. So in this case, we are focusing on a survivability build. Here we go against the boss. We do have a little bit of resistance here. Love that activation there. You see that activation take off a huge chunk from the boss. Love that it's an AoE. There's the activation again. Right now, no danger. Love that. Look at it. Look at the boss just get chunked. Poison activation again. Yeah, it's gonna be under 3 minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes, just to get through it. We do get 4 food along the way, which is really nice. This should be it right here. All right, 2 minutes and 30 seconds for food with Ezio. Yeah, really solid clear here and really no danger of dying. So this could be a spot where you can use Ezio as well if you don't have a good option for just, Ice Golem tournaments, for example. You can definitely jam him in here with a couple food just to be really efficient with your energy and all that. So he's definitely viable for this spot. And if you don't have the crazy stats necessary for this, you can definitely dial down to like 22 works. You can even do 20 would work as well. As long as it's not negative affinity, it'll work really well. His best spot, I'll show you guys here, is probably going to be Dragon. We're going to step him up to Dragon Hard 10 and see how well he performs here. Void affinity here, so you can basically bring anybody. He has poisons and he has the brimstone as well, so that's going to help him out. Let's see if the build is strong enough for him to survive, and let's see how he performs against these waves here. This is hard 10, by the way, so this is the hardest level of dragon. And of course, if you guys don't have the stats for this, definitely scale it down. Show you guys the build afterwards here. Big activation there. You see half of the life of all of these champions basically got chunked off. Brimstone's going to help against the waves. We got a steal there, which is nice. Steal. And then activation as well. on the enemies with 4 debuffs. Buff steal as well. It's kind of nice. Increase defense, increase attack, kind of helps. And 1 activation, everybody's dead. 40 seconds to wave 2. Not too bad. Not too shabby, right? Not too shabby. A little bit of resistance going to be helpful here just to not suffer those decreased defenses. Brimstone helpful here as well. And then we're going to go to the poisons. Oh, we got plus defense here from the steel. And then here comes the poisons. Boom. Half of the HP is gone. Really, really nice. Brimstone helping softening them up. And then poisons pop. Pretty sweet. I don't know. It's pretty nice. Now, he's not going to be super consistent with landing all the activations because he does need 4 debuffs, but he can pretty much do it. As long as he has that Brimstone as an extra debuff, it really, really helps. So there you're going to activate on the HP, on the poisons. Really nice. Big chunks off. Brimstone obviously really helpful against this boss. Healing up. Having some extra, speed, being fast, giving you extra turns, gives you more heals and stuff. It's really, really nice. Poisons. The A3 could steal the plus attack from the dragon as well, which is nice for survivability. It gives you extra damage as well. Brimstone chunking off. 1 more activation. There we go. 2 minutes and 10 seconds, guys. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. No real danger to Ezio here. And he was able to take care of Dragon Heart 10 with 4 food. So if you guys don't have an option to, do this, he can be an option. Like I said, this works really well in Dragon tournaments. Not so much turn attack tournaments, but just Dragon tournaments in general, where you just farm, points, right? So instead of just farming up points, you can also farm points for, that tournament, and then you can farm points for food as well. So that's kind of the importance of having these kind of solo capable champions for these dungeons, because it allows you to stretch what your energy is doing for you. So instead of just getting points, you're also getting food at the same time. And it's important because it racks up, right, over time. And that's how, training events get really easy when you have extra food ready and all that stuff. Now, the drawback is that it takes 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Some people can't stomach 2 minutes because they have teams that can do it in 30 seconds, for example. But if you don't have those teams, or you don't have the energy to power those teams, then 2 minutes is perfectly fine. You just do it when you're doing doing something else around the house, or if you're away from the computer, then you can do it as well, right? Like I said, this is probably his best spot, Dragon's Lair, Heart 10. I did try him out in Sand Devil and Phantom Shogun. I'll show you guys exactly what the issue is. So for 25, he has strong affinity. The problem is he can't basically do that much damage. He has to really time his A2 to work when he's sleeping. Now, he might be able to survive the hits, but to time the A2, it's not that easy to do. So you do need a little bit of, like a speed tune and all that. Also, having something like maybe War Master could definitely help out a little bit. We are running, a regen healing. And then we do have the Golden Elixir for healing. I did try Aspect of Suroth, and it actually didn't work out that well against this boss. The timing of his abilities just don't work out super well. So I don't think it's viable, but maybe it's possible with the right speed tune so that you always land the poisons when he's sleeping. The other thing here is that we did go into Phantom Shogun, and 25 unfortunately is magic affinity, so it's going to be really, really difficult for him to get through this. It's not possible for him to get through this at all. Bringing food is a little bit of a negative as well. So for example, I can take out the food, and he still wouldn't be able to do this fight. This fight is an impossible fight for him because he's going to be constantly weak hitting, even without the enfeeble on. So it's just not going to work out here, at least not in this build. But anyways, guys, I'm going to show you guys the build here real quick. It's going to be regeneration with the Impulse set. Impulse is really nice because it does give you the opportunity to get a random skill cooldown. That's really good because it gives you an extra chance at getting the poison exploding ability back, which is where most of his damage is going to be coming from in this type of build. Regeneration, Impulse, and then we do have a little bit of the accessories here for some additional stats and speed. Now his stats are going to be pretty strong here. I do have some pretty good gear on him. Like I said, just scale down the stats. You guys can do some of the lower level dungeons. You guys don't need these stats to do, basically like dungeon 20s, for example. But these are the stats you probably want to shoot for if you want to do hard 10 dragon. At least 400 resistance, at least 300 accuracy. And then speed, you want at least 250, probably more. HP, probably at least 70k. I do have a little bit of attack here as well to help him out a little bit on the A3. He does have natural decent amount of defense for an attack-based damage dealer, so it wasn't too hard to get his defense up. 284 speed is pretty good. And we do have a relic for the additional stats, so Golden Elixir is really, really strong for these type of solo builds because it gives him additional healing. I went for the plus 12, so it's 16%. A little bit of damage reduction with the bosses, a little bit of turn meter boosting here as well. And of course, we got the 5-star blessing here from the free login program. Go for Brimstone if you're going for these solo builds because it really helps against bosses, helps against waves, gives them an extra output of damage. In terms of masteries, basically these are like solo masteries. Went for Oppressor. He does land a decent amount of debuffs, so you can get the turn meter boost here. This one's going to be extending the poisons. This one's going to be giving you additional speed when your food dies. This one's pretty good, gives you turn meter as well. He's landing a decent amount of debuffs. Turn meter here, a little bit of healing when he kills stuff, and a little bit of healing boost there. He is fully booked. He does require 12 books. It's a little bit more on the expensive size for a newer player, but he definitely needs it. Obviously, getting the debuff chance on the A2 is very important. Having cooldown reduction is very important. This one, this one's just getting a damage boost. If you don't land the books in here, it's kind of okay, but this is the key ability for this type of build. Key stats to shoot for here, like I said, at least 300 accuracy, depending on the dungeon level. For hard 10, you want 300, at least 300, maybe 320, maybe 330. If you want resistance, at least 400, 420-ish for hard 10, and then obviously scale it down if you guys are doing lower levels. And then other than that, you just need speed and then just some decent HP. Not too easy to get HP on this guy. He's only got 16k flat on his base HP. So make sure you target HP on all the accessories. So flat HP everywhere you can, and then HP percentage wherever you can. And then having HP and defense percentage on the substats is very, very important. So I'll show you guys the gear here real quick. Trying to not waste any of the substats. Obviously looking for HP, defense, resistance, accuracy. Needs quite a bit, right? And of course, speed and all that stuff. Attacks, obviously, a nice extra stat as well. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the showcase for my Ezio here. He's pretty good in those solo applications. Like I said, if you guys don't have any options for those dungeons, he can definitely do some work for you. Give you an option to, get that solo farm going. Stretch that energy out a little bit more. Now, if you guys are looking for more areas where Ezio can be good in different types of builds, I do have another showcase on Ezio in some other areas in the game. Make sure you guys check that out. I'm going to leave a link in the comments below. But yeah, really, really good login champion. I'm really liking him. Like I said, he's going to be really good for early game, mid game, and late game players. Definitely one of the better champions in this Assassin's Creed collab. And the best thing is, he's free. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Appreciate you guys watching until the end. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. It would really help me out. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.